One evening, as the witch Moria was sauntering through her garden, something unusual caught her eye. Upon closer inspection, she found a small, oddly colored pumpkin growing in the corner. Curious, she decided to keep the discovery to herself, not even mentioning it to her cat, Daniel Thorne. Every day while Daniel Thorne napped, Moria would secretly water the little gourd. As it grew, she began to notice faint golden glimmers on its surface. Day by day, the pumpkin swelled in size until it became a massive golden spectacle. Fearing someone might grow suspicious if she spent too much time in the garden, Moria camouflaged it with paint and installed electronic eyes to watch over the pumpkin while in the crooked cottage. She couldn't afford to draw attention, especially now that the pumpkin's value seemed immense. One evening, she flew to visit Orlinda, a sorceress village seer known for her all-telling orb. Together, they gazed into the crystal ball, which revealed the golden pumpkin's qualitative worth and quantifiable fortune. Orlinda offered to buy it, but Moria declined. "It's worth more than you can offer," she said. Orlinda, insulted, reminded Moria that without her crystal ball, she wouldn't have known the pumpkin's worth nor its value. Moria left abruptly, her mind already plotting what to do next, leaving Orlinda with non-payment and a short answer of not for sale on the pumpkin. Angered by Moria's arrogance, Orlinda muttered a quiet incantation, sending a curse whispered through the winds. Meanwhile, Moria guarded her golden treasure, hesitant to sell it at the market, a place she would send her servants to sell on her behalf. The villagers weren't pleased to see the witch. Using her white carriage would draw attention, she rarely used it anyways, and people would talk besides Daniel Thorne would be nosy and would want to know why she would be using it. She summoned her fairy godmother, Carlithia, for advice, but received no response. Carlithia, once eager to help, seemed unreachable and only helped on her terms. Determined to keep her secret, Moria called her brother Rupert the chimp. He would go with her and help her sell it at the market for little to no bananas. She waited for the perfect moment. One foggy morning, when the Carlithian forest was shrouded in mist, she summoned Rupert and together they hurried to harvest her precious pumpkin. Just as she was cutting the vine, she heard a voice through the fog, repeating, "I'm coming for you." Fearing someone had come for the pumpkin, she quickly covered it and hid, and Rupert climbed into the tree and scared the goofy white owl. Then the figure emerged from the mist, and it was her granddaughter, Dalith, the young witch in training. Moria remained silent, hoping Dalith wouldn't notice her, but Dalith began singing a spell, stumbling over the words. "Bio, bio, bio, bio," she chanted. Moria, unable to resist, corrected her. "It's boo, child." Her sudden shout startled Dalith, revealing her presence. "What are you doing, Nana?" Dalith asked innocently. Moria, cursing her slip-up, scrambled for an excuse. "Oh, nothing. I'm just about to head inside. It's getting chilly." She tried to dismiss Dalith, but the young girl lingered. Desperate to get her out of the garden, Moria offered her candy, successfully diverting her attention. Once Dalith was gone, Moria and Rupert wasted no time. They hastily washed the paint off the camouflaged pumpkin and took it to market in the gradient forest, dreaming of the fortune she would make as she watched its golden hue shimmer in the sun. Her mind spun with fantasies, new spells, a platinum hairstyle, blacker, longer nails, even a new cauldron for her brews. Platinum status was her dream as her future seemed golden. But when they arrived at the market, she discovered the shocking truth. The pumpkin wasn't gold at all. It was merely a yellow pumpkin, shimmering in a way that had tricked her all along. Devastated, Moria returned home, her dreams shattered. When she entered, Daniel Thorne, who always seemed to know more than he let on, asked, "Did you receive some heartbreaking news?" Moria, caught off guard, replied, "What do you mean?" "I know you've been secretly tending to that pumpkin," Daniel Thorne said, his eyes gleaming with amusement. "When you would water it, I pretended to nap, but I too secretly kept staring at that electronic eye you set up. That's how I know you thought it was gold. But judging by your face, I'd say it wasn't." Moria simply smirked, too tired and frustrated to argue. She walked away, her grand plans reduced to dust, with only the memory of her golden dream lingering in the air. As Moria trudged in her garden, devastated by the truth about her pumpkin, a strange feeling washed over her. The shimmering gold she'd once seen in the pumpkin had all been an illusion, fading into nothing more than a dull yellow. She couldn't understand how she had been so easily fooled. She knew it was gold, and even Orlinda confirmed it. When she finally reached the end of the garden, Daniel Thorne, with his usual sly smile, once again reminded her of her heartbreaking news. "Leave me alone," Moria snapped, still reeling from the disappointment. Moria paused, staring at her cat. How had everything gone so wrong? Suddenly, the whispers from Orlinda's incantation echoed in the wind. "Your gold dreams will turn to yellow realities," the wind teased her. It all became clear. Orlinda cast a spell and sabotaged the sale. The golden pumpkin, her dreams of wealth and fortune, could have been real. The illusion was its replacement from the curse, leaving only a yellow pumpkin in its place. Orlinda's curse had taken her gold dreams and morphed them into the yellow reality. Moria, realizing her greed may have played a part in this matter and cost her dearly, she thought she should have sold it to Orlinda and made out with some type of profit rather than none. As she sat in her darkened cottage, staring at the now ordinary yellow pumpkin, she reflected on the opportunities she had squandered. She let out a weary sigh, smirking at Daniel Thorne. "I suppose I was sabotaged," she muttered, putting her face in her lap, hoping the notion would make her feel better about the situation. "Nope, you probably sabotaged yourself, like you always do," Daniel Thorne sarcastically said. Her golden ambitions had crumbled, as always, leaving her with bitter lessons to learn. When you're blinded by greed, what seems like gold is just a glimmer of something far less valuable. And as she sulks in her darkness, the echoes of Orlinda's incantation dissolved into the night, leaving Moria to reflect on what could have been and what would never be. The pumpkin's transformation was a stark reminder to her that true wealth lies not in the possessions we strive for, but in the bonds we nurture and cherish that we already have. And the true shimmer was not in the pumpkin itself, but in the golden relationships she may have tarnished with her selfishness.